Do you want an easy way of scheduling that you can even prepare whilst waiting in the car for your child to get out of an extracurricular activity like I am now? Stick around and I'll show you just how easy it can be. Hi guys, it's Fronnigy here from Aussies Do Down Under, and today I thought I started to rearrange my schedule for homeschool while I'm sitting here waiting for my daughter to finish her drum class, and I thought, why aren't I showing you what I'm doing? So it might be a little bit preemptive, it might be a little bit messy, but I'll try and show you what I'm doing the best I can because I'm not set up to film, but I thought I probably should be showing you what I'm doing. So I will give you a look. Basically what I'm doing now is I'm just rubbing out all my different scheduling, and then I'll show you what I do from there. So as you can see, I'm just slowly rubbing out my last term's things, and then I'm going to start putting in my new ones. I'm changing things up a little bit this term, so I'm going to show you my process as best I can, considering I'm not set up for filming in the car right now. But as I was doing it, I thought, why am I not showing them what I'm doing? So I'll give it a go. As you can see, I have rubbed out everything. This is why I do it in pencil, because I know it's a little bit messier and some people would prefer to do it each time again. And sometimes I do, but I kind of like to see roughly what I did last time. That way I know if I'm missing something, and I have my set areas, so my days and all the subjects I do, a couple of empty spots, and then I can just sort of fill it in as I go. So I've shown you basically my blank page almost. You can see that on a Wednesday my kids will still be going to extension education, or EE as we call it. So Wednesday is wiped out. We don't do any schoolwork at home. We'll still be doing coding. Now coding is done through Coding Kids, I think it's called. I'll check that when I get home and put a link in the description when I pop this video up. Coding we do, it's sort of like a Skype scenario. They can see their teacher or the tutor, and the tutor can actually see them. So whoever's talking at the time, and they do it three ways. So my daughter, my son, and the teacher, and whoever's talking sort of comes up on the monitor, kind of like Skype but slightly different. She can see what they're doing and all their workings out, and she works them through their coding work. It's a great resource and it's quite affordable, so I'll let you know in the description of the company, and in the future I might do a little bit of a spotlight episode on that, just to tell you what I think, because I think it's really good, and I might just go into a little bit more detail with a spotlight episode. Now for Spanish, which is usually one of the ones that I block out and we do on a Monday, we are no longer going to the language academy. The gentleman who was teaching us, who we really liked, has gone back to Spain. Bit of a bummer. So we've decided that we're going to teach ourselves at home. I'll let you know how that goes. We still have the workbook that we're working through, so I'm just going to continue doing that. I know a little bit of Spanish, un poquito. So I will try and help the children learn as much as I can. I have some CDs as well, so I know that there's Duolingo out there, so we might even look into that, and we're just going to wing it.
My sister thinks that we shouldn't do Duolingo because there's too many memes.
Memes? There's memes, is there?
Yeah.
I don't know what
Looks
these
like
memes are, but
Spanish lesson. Knife in your school friends.
creepy. Okay, so you've heard it, but
memes are Duolingo is evil. That's the meme.
Oh, okay. We'll have a look at Duolingo. Not sure. We may just work through the worksheet that we've already got until we finish, but I'll let you know how we go with that, and I might even do an update spotlight episode in the coming weeks after we've had to go by ourselves. See how we go. All right, so basically what I've got now is a blank canvas. I have Wednesday marked out. I have to now fill in a couple of things, and I'll let you see how I'm going. Basically what I'm going to try and do is allocate time to all the different subjects and where we're up to at the moment. in history, Australian history, we haven't quite finished. We're almost there. So I'm going to add that in, and we're also starting Australian geography this term as well. So I'll pop those two in, and after that, math, English as normal. We're about to start a new typing program, so I'm going to do a bit of a spotlight episode on that in the future as well. And I'll pop a couple of others in, and then I'll show you what I've got. Just so you know as well, if you saw my car, and I'm going to show you now, everything sort of laid out. I also have my diary with me so that I am remembering all the different extracurricular activities, so I don't sort of fill one particular day too much if we have other activities. Like on Friday we do drumming from 1:30 to 3:30, so I try and make sure I get everything done in the morning on a Friday, and then they have the afternoon off after drumming because it just gets a little bit much for them. And then Friday afternoons is a fun day, which is always good leading into the weekend. So I will turn this camera around now and show you sort of everything I've got laid out, just so you can see what I'm sort of dealing with. Okay, you can see I have my diary open. I have my worksheet ready. I did have a coffee, as you can see, but already done that. And I have my homeschool little diary that I've got going just to give me ideas and know the sort of programs I want to do this term. So if I was home, I'd pretty much look exactly the same, but as I am a working mum, I try and do things on the fly. My son just totally lost it because I said on the fly. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that as an old mum or if he's just tripping out that I know on the fly. So like I was saying, if I was at home, I'd pretty much have it set out the same. I'd have my diary, I'd have my worksheet where I put everything, I'd have my little homeschool sort of diary that I keep all my ideas and the programs I want to use. I'd probably have my coffee even, but as I'm a homeschool mum and I'm also working and we're very busy with our extracurricular, even on the holidays, we're doing drumming, I do things on the fly wherever I can.
Please stop saying on the fly.
Hunter just said, please stop saying on the fly. How come, Hunter?
It's too retro. It's like having a disco. It's like playing disco music.
Oh, okay. I'm being retro. That's
Too
okay.
retro.
I'm cool
You can
retro.
be retro, but you're just being too
I'm too retro. Okay, so I won't say on the fly again. I'm going to get to it and I'll show you a bit more in a minute. Okay, so I've kind of finished, but I'm pretty sure I'll make some changes like I usually do. So I've popped down as much as I can. You can see it there. I'll show you a closer look in a second, but basically I've got reading 3 days a week. Now, they do reading in their beds every night anyway of their personal books, but I like to put some dedicated reading time into the school schedule just so I know they're reading other books that maybe are a little bit more scholastic, so to speak. One of those reading days that we have is a read aloud, so I will read and they can just listen. The other two, they have just started a couple of books. So Hunter has started a book about just after the Second World War and the disease that was around at that point, and from a girl's perspective, a young girl. And Sienna has started reading How to Train Your Dragon.
both read that.
Oh, do you? So they're both reading How to Train Your Dragon. And they also have other books that they're reading in their normal separate time. So we'll do dedicated reading 3 mornings a week. Now, we start with reading because Hunter said he prefers to start with reading. So that is our ease into the day kind of exercise. Now, we're just starting a new program called Touch, Type, Read and Spell. I shall put a link in the description regards to that one. That is a new program I'm starting, and I will do a review on it in a few weeks when I've had a chance to look at it and see how it works. But I did start a typing program with the kids at one stage, but it was just a basic typing program. This one sort of is promising other things and helping them to learn how to spell at the same time. and it's a little bit more typing for the sake of not writing, I shouldn't say writing, typing sentences that actually make sense rather than just typing letters and learning where the fingers go. So I'm hoping it gets a lot of good reviews in regard to dyslexic children. So I'm hoping it's going to help. And like I said, I'll do a review in a couple of weeks for that one. Now, the next thing we're going to be doing is some copy work. We'll probably do 2 sheets a day of copy work, and that is 3 days a week. The other thing that we do most days is our timestables.com. Now, I already did a review for that one. That takes probably about 15 minutes, and we'll do that 4 days a week. They don't do it on Wednesdays because we go to EE. For English, we're going to be doing our Write Shop, and I'm going to do a review on that very soon, probably next week actually. And the other thing that we do is our book study, which we're still doing, Wonder, the book Wonder. That is really great. I've been really enjoying that. So English will involve Write Shop 2 days a week, Wonder 2 days a week as well. Now we do other English things. They do free writing as well, and they do writing in other subjects. So I find that's enough for English, especially when I have dyslexic children. It can be a bit tiresome for them. So I try and mix it up in other subjects so they don't actually realize they're doing writing. It's a little clever trick.
Now you just told me it.
Hunter just goes, now, I don't know if you heard him, but he goes, now you just told me. It's all right. He won't remember. So then mathematics, as I did my review last week, so you know, mathematics I will be doing teaching textbooks on a Monday and our maths mate. We do our maths mate on a Monday because then their teacher comes and she corrects that with them. They'll do Prodigy with their teacher on a Tuesday, teaching textbooks on a Wednesday in the car as they go up to Brisbane for their EE class. Great thing about teaching textbooks is you can pop it on anything. So they'll be doing that on a Wednesday in the car. You've got to take every moment you can, yes, when you've got busy schedule, so that way they're getting enough. Then on a Thursday, we'll do Life of Fred. And on a Friday, we'll do teaching textbooks and Prodigy. So we have a lot of math. We do a lot of math in our family. Now, some of the other things, like I said, is computer studies. So they're doing coding with their teacher. We're then going to be doing Spanish twice a week for 40 minutes. And I'll get back to you on how we're going to be doing that. But at the start, I'm just going to follow that, the worksheets that they gave us at the school. Now, our science, we'll be doing twice a week. On a Monday and a Thursday, we'll be doing our chemistry. We're still working through one of our box sets. For our country study and geography, we're finishing off our Australian history. That should finish in a couple of weeks, and then we'll move on to Australian geography. Again, I will do a review on that in the coming weeks. And then we have our free writing 3 times a week. So this may involve journal writing. This may involve letter writing to family members in other states, and or going outside and observing something and writing about it, or poem writing. This can mean a lot of different things. So depending on the mood, depending on what we're doing at the time, depending on where we've been, it could be anything. So that is our free writing, and we'll do that 3 times a week. Now, I also have room to put a personal passion project, and I have room to do some sort of unit study, but I'm not going to pop that in yet. I'm going to see how this new program works, how much free time we're going to have, and or not. See where I can wheel things around. I'll try it out for a couple of weeks until I know sort of how we're sort of gelling with the new programs. And then I may pop in a unit study and or a personal passion project, so that when one child is doing one thing and the other one has a bit of free time, they may like to do their own little project or their own little study on a subject that they are interested in. And it just gives them back a little bit of power and a little bit of ownership when it comes to their education. So I will turn this camera around and show you what it looks like. This is a work in progress. Like I said, we started, I do a little bit of a write-up, and things may or may not change as the first couple of weeks progress and we see how it's fitting in and how it's working. So I shall show you. Okay, so Hunter's going off to drums and Sienna's going to come in. Bye Hunter, have fun. And Sienna will come in and swap places, and I have another hour to get some more work done. How'd you go?
Good.
Did you have fun?
Yeah. Are you filming?
I am filming. I can't speak today. Okay, so like I said, and I'm yet to put a personal passion project, and I'm yet to do a unit study. I then have some of the extracurricular activities they do underneath. I've still got to put in karate, art, and a couple of other things. So there we have it. Like I said, it's a work in progress. It may and probably will have changes, but we'll see how we go. So hopefully that explains my process and how I think about things and how I pop them in. I know it's a little bit haphazard and I don't go into the nitty-gritty. I'm not getting the book out and working out exactly how many questions I have to answer. We don't have that type of homeschool. We are a little bit eclectic. We're definitely eclectic. And we're a little bit free-spirited, so we sort of just go where the mood takes us a lot of the time. As long as I know we're doing each one of the important ones when we're supposed to, then I'm happy with that. Some days my children are very dyslexic, other days they're not so dyslexic. That sounds really weird, but it does have its good and its bad days, and anyone with a dyslexic child knows that already. So we really do go with the flow. As long as I'm getting the stuff done that they need to, I'm happy. They're happy. We're moving through the stuff. We're where we're supposed to be most of the time. It's all good. But it doesn't take that long. What, it took me half an hour, maybe? I'm filming, so a bit longer. It took me an hour. But that's it. If I wasn't filming, it would be really quick. For those of you, for those of you who do every single lesson and all the different questions, obviously it's going to take you longer, but for eclectic homeschoolers out there or unschoolers out there, it's a little bit easier, I suppose, in a sense. I say easy from my opinion. So we can pop down sort of just generally what we want to do, how much time maybe we want to do it, and that's it. We move on from there. I'm not a stickler. If something doesn't get done and we had to have it done, or it's written down on the plan, I'm not too worried. It will get done eventually. Yes, Sienna? Don't you agree? That way, if we're having a bad day, we can move on to something else. And if we're not having a bad day and we're getting heaps done, then we can get heaps done. She has one thing to say.
Stop it, you. I dropped it. Make sure you eat your lasagna.
Make sure you eat your lasagna. Very important. Coming from the 12-year-old in the back.
I don't eat lasagna.
No, she doesn't. Well, she does, but she doesn't like cheese. So hopefully this has allowed you to see how easy it can be to do a schedule for your homeschool. I know that there's a lot of schedules out there that are a lot harder than mine, and people put a lot more effort into them. But if you're eclectic like I am, or a non-schooler, unschooler, I'm thinking, what is that other one called? Unschooler, or you don't really follow a particular curriculum, then it can be really simple. Really, it's not even a schedule. It's more like just a reminder of what you want to get done in that day. And that's how I look at it. There's certain days, there's certain subjects I want to get done every day. There's certain subjects I just want to do a couple of days or once a week. And this sheet is just really a reminder so that I don't forget to do any of them. This is how easy it can be. You can do it in the car whilst waiting for your children. So I hope you got something out of this, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Your subscriptions are really helping. I'm loving meeting everybody, and thank you for your feedback and your questions that you're giving me. If you like this particular video, please give it a thumbs up. and share if you know anyone who needs a little bit of help with scheduling, or if they feel like it's overwhelming, maybe this is an easy alternative for them. That's about it. I will see you guys next week. Thanks for all your caring and sharing, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya.